Well, hello everybody. So I love it when I find another way to eat a fruit, or something that you can do with a fruit that you didn't know before. Like learning that I could eat jackfruit seeds or banana flowers. Something you're used to eating, and then you find out like, oh, I can do that. A lot of seeds that are edible that people just don't eat because usually it's because they're a little bit of a hassle to eat. And one of those things is mango seeds. You can eat these things. Yes, if you take the seed and you crack it open, these ones thankfully are actually split, so that's pretty easy. If you break this thing open, inside there is a seed, and this is edible. You can eat this thing. It's very hard, so what you have to do is you have to prepare it before you can eat it, but it's actually a pretty popular mouth freshener in India. What people will do is they will take this, they will boil it, they'll dry it, they'll fry it, and then they'll mix it with spices, and then after you eat a meal, you eat it as a digestive. I believe that you can do this with any mango seed. These are Haitian mangoes, so you can see that seed in there is pretty small, but if you were to do this with a larger mango, like maybe a Tommy Atkins mango, that might give you a little bit more seed. I don't know if there's much of a difference between one seed and another. If this tastes terrible, then maybe I'll try it with another kind of mango to see if that gives me better results. But I probably is going to taste about the same. I'm going to take a nibble of this raw just to see what that's like. Now, this is not normally done. Terrible. It is sharp, it is bitter, it is starchy, like eating a raw potato. It's giving me a horrible dry mouth, a little citrusy, a little bit tart. You definitely want to prepare it. You do not want to eat a raw mango seed. If you're doing the raw food thing, I'm sorry, this is not a way to get more protein in your diet. So here are my mango seeds. Some of them have little splits in them, some of them don't. I would recommend taking like a hammer and just like thwacking them like pretty hard, like on the side. Now, right now it is pretty late. It's about 9:30 and I live in an apartment building, so I'm gonna just kind of like go in through the side like this very carefully to just kind of force a split. And to do that, that's what you got. That's a pretty big one. The other one I was showing earlier is not so big. This one actually has nothing in it. So I'm like, yeah, it's not broken open or anything, but I can feel right now there's like nothing in here. So yeah, this one doesn't have a kernel whatsoever. In fact, yeah, you can see no kernel at all. Out of 4 Haitian mangoes, this is what I got, and should be enough to at least get an idea of what this is like. This is not something people eat as a snack so much, it's more as a mouth freshener, so you're not going to need like a whole ton of it anyway. The next step would be to peel this outer skin off. It doesn't have to be like perfect, because it's when you boil it, more of it should come off. So I'm going to take my 3 seeds here whole and put them into a pot of boiling water and let this cook kind of like a potato, just until it starts to like soften up. All of the recipes I'm looking at are from India, and in India they use pressure cookers. Pressure cookers are not super common here in the US. Most people don't have one, I don't have one. So I guess pressure cookers, when they build up enough steam, they will let out a whistle, and that's how you can gauge doneness. And some recipes say wait until 1 whistle. Others said wait until 4 whistles. And I looked it up, and it's very difficult to kind of like translate that into time. Well, I brought it to a boil on high heat, then I lowered it to a medium. I let that cook for about 20 minutes or so, and then I put it on low, and I covered it with a lid and let it cook for like maybe another 10 minutes. So it's been going on for like about a half an hour, maybe a little bit less than that, and it's still hard. But what I did is I tasted like a little piece, and it did not give me dry mouth. So I am going to use that as a sign that this is done enough. What I'm going to do is let these sit out until they dry out a little bit. It's the next day, and look at them. They look about the same. I took the shells off, and they are they're dried out, look pretty good, ready to go. So let's cut them up. I'm going to take this pan here and put it on medium heat. Put a little bit of oil in the pan. I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil because why not? And also take a moment to appreciate my olive oil bottle, which has a fish on it, because I am high class. I read online that you can do two things. You can either cut them up like I'm doing right now, or you can also shred them. You fry these until they are crispy. Some of the recipes that I was looking at, they would throw spices in at this stage. Other ones they threw spices in after it was done cooking, and others threw spices in as it was boiling. So I think it's a matter of preference. I'm doing this without spices because I want to see what it tastes like. I guess I probably shouldn't have put olive oil in it then, but too late now. Yeah, it's been like maybe a minute and they're already pretty golden brown looking. So I lowered the heat and now let this cook a little bit longer. They are definitely brown enough, so I'm turning off the heat, and it is time for everybody's favorite part, plating. I have some paper towels here to catch some of the oil. And a lot of the recipes, they don't use oil, they actually use ghee, which I'm not using for two reasons. One, I don't have any, and two, this channel does attract a fair share of vegans, so I want to try this in a way that's not going to have any animal product in it, but yeah, mostly because I don't have any. Alright, there it is. Check that out. Ouch, that is very hot still. Yeah, looks pretty good. Smells good. I know it looks a little bit dark, but I don't believe it's burnt. Hey, what do you think? She doesn't care. Alright, so I got a nice big chunk. Let's try it out. It's like there's 3 different stages to the flavor of this. The initial taste is kind of like a fried root vegetable, like fried potato. It doesn't have like a strong potatoey taste, but it's got like a similar kind of feeling, like a fried starchy vegetable. After that, you get a bitter, sharp flavor to it. Maybe a little bit like mango, but I might be reaching there. If you were to like bite into an orange seed, you know how it's got like maybe a little bit of like a fruit flavor to it, like a little bit of like an orangish kind of flavor to it, but there's also kind of like a harsh bitterness to it. It's not awful. It's not like when I ate it raw. It's definitely calmed down a lot, but it's still there. So this is not the sort of thing where you want to eat like fistfuls of it. But the third level that you get is dry mouth. There is a little bit of dry mouth to it. Now in India, they work with the dry mouth. Like there are some fruits out there like the amla, and that 100% gives you dry mouth, but people will still use it and kind of like steer into that dry mouth feel. And it's in a lot of juices and stuff like that. In the US, people are like, oh god, you know, like I'm gonna die, that's poison. But like in India at least, it's something that you can actually appreciate if you get used to that kind of like astringency, that kind of dry mouth feel is used in small amounts, too much, and it's terrible. Like when I ate that raw, that was way too much. But with this, it's just like a little subtle dry mouth taste to it. Kind of gives you like a refreshing kind of feel in your mouth. Now usually when people eat this though, they will use different seasonings, they'll use different spices, and so I'm going to try this with a few different spices. The one that I've been seeing like across the board, like in almost every spice mixture, is black salt. And if you haven't had black salt, it is a kind of salt out there that has a sulfuric taste to it. So a little bit like eggs. The other things that I have in here, I've got green mango powder. You take unripe green mangoes and you dry them out and you like powderize that dried pulp. So it's gonna be nice and sour. And also I have in here, I don't know how to say it, asafoetida or hing, which is another very sulfuric spice. Okay, we are spiced. I like it. It's good. A little bit of sulfuric taste, a little bit of a spiciness, a little bit of tartness from the mango, and saltiness. The sharpness and the bitterness that you get from those seeds is kind of like covered up a little bit. It's pretty intense. Like you bite into one of these things, you get that strong flavor from the mango seed, but you also get all those relatively strong spice flavors in there, and you get a little bit of dry mouth. So this is the sort of thing that it makes sense that people use it as a mouth freshener, and they don't eat it like a chip. I went to the Indian supermarket near my house, and I found a packaged version of the mango seeds. It's called salted goatly dry slice, and all it has in it is mango seeds, salt, and citric acid. So this doesn't have like a whole lot of spices or anything in it, like the one that I made. So this is a little bit more simple, and I mean mine got a little bit toasty, a little toastier than I wanted them to be. So these ones do not look like that. These ones I don't even know if they're really like roasted. They look like they might have just been dried out. It smells kind of like ashes, like a cigarette butt. Am I supposed to be eating this? Tastes a little weird. Very salty. The serving size for this is 100 grams. This is a 200 gram package. Honestly, just eating that one, I feel like I've had enough salt for the entire week. That tastes like a piece of chalk that you dropped in salt. It's like a little sour. It's a little nutty, kind of like a peanut, but like a raw peanut. No offense to Renu, but mine are better. I'm sorry. I mean, I know that I kind of like roasted mine maybe a little bit too much, but they have a nicer taste. This thing just tastes like salty chalk. I don't see this being especially a good mouth freshener either. I wonder if this is used in a different way that I'm just not aware of. If you were to take these and like crumble them up like real fine, or chop them up real fine, and then like sprinkle them over the top of like a cold dish, like a salad or something, it would be alright. It'd be kind of like how some Thai restaurants will use like crushed peanuts as a spice. Just on its own, not a big fan of that one. So I think that's about it, guys. So I will see you next time with more seeds in this fantastic seed month. Alright, take care. Bye-bye. Well, I really hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, you may want to check out the video that is below me right now. That should be good too. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, it is a huge help to my channel, so please do consider subscribing or clicking that bell. That does something too. Not sure what it is. Also, check out the description below. There's all sorts of other things I have going on. I don't even know anymore. But guys, I will see you next time. Take care.